Too Many Hats podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle, every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock That He. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. Too Many Hats podcast.
Top of the morning to you, my good people. Happy Tuesday. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. It's your host with the most, Tony May, LaBelle South Keys. What it do, my guy?
Good morning, bro.
Man, there's always something.
You up and at it.
But God is good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. God is good. Man, so we got any shots?
No, I ain't got no shots out this morning. I do have a prayer request. Man, kind of, made me count my blessings again. Young gentleman out of Memphis, Tennessee, I Heart Memphis, who had the song Hit the Quan and whatever other songs that was his. I can't remember all of them. But he went on I think they say he stood up with the police in Florida almost 11 to 12 hours, and I think they finally got in the house to arrest him, but he was having a mental breakdown. And so we want to be in prayer for his family and prayer for his mind. So I don't know what the outcome is going to be. Gratefully, they didn't do any harm to him because he did have a weapon. So he could have went the other way. But yeah, so just be in prayer for that young man, what he got going on in his life, because he so easily could have been one of us.
Right. Man.
Yeah, so.
Woo.
Yeah, he was
always something, for sure.
Yeah, so hopefully we get some other updates as to how that actually turns out. And hopefully he can get some help where he can come back around. We know he can because I did, so
yeah. Man, shout out to Glorilla, man. Glorilla, man. And her mama and daddy, man.
Yeah.
She finally kind of went live, man, with her mom and dad on there and kind of cleared up the mess, man. So that sisterhood is she got some issues, man. And I think a lot of families have issues, and I think what was exposed, man, was really just bad, But man, shout out to Gorilla for at least trying to. She said she wasn't gonna even go live, but her mama was like big, cause it was making her. She said her mama felt like it was making her look bad, like she was a bad mama, And so she really wanted. She said, "Well, I thank you for clearing that up for me, cause I." Perspectives, people's perspectives are what they are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't think it changed a whole lot of people's perspectives on how they felt about it, because people feel how they feel.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it changed a whole lot of people's perspective, but at least, she got a chance to tell, at least, share her her view or whatever.
Yeah, I don't like the, if it needs to go for in the family, man. I know everybody have their issues and problems and stuff, but I just don't like stuff like that to air out, publicly like that. It's sad.
Publicly, yeah. I think it's a shame, man, that we had to go to some extent, but it, it just happened to Glow family, man, because of who she is.
Right.
This happens all the time on Facebook, social media.
Oh yeah,
I see it.
Right.
And when I see it, if I'm friends with the actual person and I see they really messy, I just go unfriend them. I'm be honest with you, I don't care if it's family or not. I just go unfriend them because I just don't want that type of negativity kind of flowing down my timeline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know.
And I if I see stuff, if I think I know the person well enough, sometimes I don't have to know them well enough. If I see a conflict going back and forth and I'm connected with that person, hey man, y'all, hey, cut that out, bro. Take that down. That ain't even what you doing.
Yeah, they gotta be real close. They gotta be real close to me for me to intervene on that level. They gotta be real.
If I see it going too far, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying like, I'm just gonna jump right in there. You know what I'm saying? But if I feel like you gonna say something that could be damaged, especially when if you got a certain type of respect in the city and your family is respected. I mean,
right.
So I'm just trying to look out for you, and be a friend. If we're gonna be there, let's be there,
Right. Yeah, it's difficult sometimes though, man, cause people, you just then you get caught up and then something happened to you.
Right.
Cause you done got caught up in the mess,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely have to be careful.
Yeah, most definitely that.
Man, this Facebook, man,
What's wrong?
it just acts so weird sometimes, man, when you're trying to do stuff, bad stuff, and
Oh. Yeah.
yeah,
Good.
it's
Today.
just,
Huh?
well, it's just like it's just, I don't know, it's so sporadic sometimes.
Oh yeah. They don't change something like every other week within the last since the new year done came in. We're really like latter part of last year. They started changing some stuff. Like you can't change, you can't share. Like I used to be able to share with my profile. I used to be able to share from my profile to the fan page. Now you can't even do that no more. They changed other stuff. They changed, like I say, they change stuff all the time.
I guess I haven't really shared anything because your kinfolk Kim share all the time on there.
Yeah, he's sharing the group. I can still share the group, but I can't share to the fan page unless I come out the group. I mean, come out my page and go to
I
my
mean the
fan page.
podcast page,
Uh-huh.
the community group, or the podcast page.
Like I used to share everything to my fan page, DJ One Love. But now I have
I
to come out and actually paste the link in there versus doing this. I don't want the army want to jump out. I'm just trying to be attentive.
I get you. Yeah, I can't look. I can't speak on that one because I don't know about that one.
But right.
I know when you if you sharing to, you can share to the 2 Men and Hat podcast page and the community group. But again, I don't know. It's Facebook. Facebook do what they want to do when they want to do it. So.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, Miss Gwen. Good morning. Hey, you
we gonna talk about the day when assumptions turn into conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
Yep.
when your assumptions turn into conflict.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We just got to really talking about it. It happens more than we really, that it does. It happens a lot.
Right.
Where people just don't know how to, or they don't know how to communicate. The problem is, and the problem with a lot of this stuff is that we're not really great communicators.
Mm-mm.
And a lot of stuff can be avoided if we would just communicate. Because if I walk into a situation, right, Lavelle,
Mm-hmm.
and just say you was talking to somebody,
right,
and I walk in, and maybe what y'all talking about fits me,
mm-hmm.
some kind of way,
Mm-hmm.
then I automatically assume y'all talking about me. You know what I'm saying? Then I jump in all in, and they like, man, what is your problem? Because I didn't communicate. I didn't come and say, oh yeah, y'all doing what y'all talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all probably would have said, oh man, we talking about when someone oh yeah, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
we just make our own assumptions, and when we make those assumptions, then they turn into conflict. It's just like we've been talking about Glorilla the last few days and how with her family, that situation going on with her family, and how a lot of people outside of Glorilla's family that don't really know her situation or haven't been in her situation, assuming, certain stuff about her, like assuming maybe she should be taking care of the siblings, and now there's a huge conflict around it,
Yep.
and people are weighing in, giving their perspectives on it. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
me personally, if it was me and I had money, I would take care of my family. But hey, still, it's gonna go to a certain extent. There are gonna be boundaries, and
Right.
I believe all Glorilla did was set some boundaries, and
Mm-hmm.
those boundaries uh were either crossed, wasn't adhered to, or whatever the situation be, and so it has led to ultimately a bigger conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to quit assuming stuff about people or about situations, and actually sit and communicate and try to figure out, you know, before we just start to make too many assumptions. I think
Right.
why this topic really matters is, many conflicts begin with words that are spoken, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
they begin before words are really spoken, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because people are just thinking, like I just said, I just gave that example where I just walked into a situation that people was actually talking, and they wasn't even talking to me, but I
Mm-hmm.
just assumed they was talking about me
Right.
because that particular scenario kind of fit me.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes, expectations kind of shape reaction. I
Right.
expect Lavelle to act a certain way or do a certain thing, and so my reactions to that, may lead to some type of assumption of conflict.
Mm-hmm.
And then, there go these perspectives. Perspectives oftentimes shape interpretation.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? People's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you start looking at interpretation, bro, it's like two. You have three people, right? That
Mm-hmm.
read the same scripture but come up with three different interpretations,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Everybody reading the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but coming up with three different things because of their interpretation of what that scripture is saying. That's
Right.
why I think I've even heard you say this on a couple of occasions, that you got to go and read before that scripture and
Mm-hmm.
after that
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
to look at the context in which that scripture is speaking of.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Most definitely that.
And, and then we argue over meaning and not really the facts.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time.
We argue over the meaning and not really the facts.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is why this topic, I think, is special, and why it means something. Is because of those things that I talked about. Because you can't just have a perspective, and your perspective leads to your interpretation and your interpretation only.
Right.
So what are the expectations then? Or what are expectations?
Mm-hmm.
Expectations are unspoken rules. If y'all on airways, it's them state troopers out. uh,
Oh,
but
they've been on strong anyway.
expectations are unspoken rules that we carry into relationships.
Unspoken rules.
Yeah, that we carry into relationships. Those
Mm-hmm.
what expectations are. They are assumptions shaped by some of our past experiences, things that we've
Right.
experienced in the past, and they kind of shaped our assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's often expressed as kind of like disappointment instead of clarity.
Mm-hmm.
We don't seek clarity, bro. We just, if things, our assumptions based on whatever the past experiences or influences or whatever that unspoken rule is that we've carried into the relationship, we don't ask for clarity, bro. We just be disappointed when people don't line up to what our expectations or what our assumptions or those experiences have taught us or showed us. And when people don't line up, we don't try to seek clarity in that situation in that moment. We just be disappointed.
Well, this may be jumping ahead a little bit, but and I think we talk about this all the time as well. And I think why the assumptions are so jacked up because we don't have no type of conflict resolution skills.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know it says when assumptions turn into conflict, but majority of the time, why the assumptions are what they are is because we don't have any type of conflict resolution skills. It shouldn't even get to that. Honestly, a lot of the time.
Well, it goes back again what I just said earlier. We don't have any communication skills, or we don't know how to communicate properly.
Mm-hmm.
If we would just communicate, I don't care. It seems like whatever topic or subject we have comes back to the exact same thing.
Communication. Mm-hmm.
I don't care, man. Like, I think if 90% of the people would just say, let me focus on communication. Let me understand communication. Let me understand how to effectively communicate. Let me understand how to listen. Let me understand how to listen with attentiveness. Let me try to understand with clarity and conciseness. Be concise when we speak. And man, bro, a lot of issues would just go away.
So let's look at this way. So assumptions, for the most part, when you assume something, is it coming from a place where you don't have any truth about it? Is it something internally you're dealing with based upon what you feel about that individual or about that situation?
Well, let's go back to what I said. Assumptions. Most of our assumptions are kind of shaped by our past experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So when we start to have these assumptions, it's based on maybe some unwritten rule that we formulated in our head or formulated from past experiences or whatever, and it leads to a certain interpretation again. So when you start looking at assumptions, I mean, it just I think it is more of an internal disconnect
Mm-hmm. Right.
where we just haven't learned to communicate and put these things. So our assumptions, our past experience, whatever we perceive as lining up with a past experiences or so we start to look at it and then we interpret it as being this, and this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
we don't care what you say.
Right.
That's why we say we argue over the meaning and not the facts.
Right.
Because if we really understood the facts, we probably wouldn't even be arguing, period.
Right.
There's a comment too.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into them. Ms. Gwen, good morning again. Said there are lessons in most things. Through the Glorilla saga has magnified family drama, but it has also provided space for discussion around expectations, accountability, and inner family dynamics in general. Mm-hmm. It also sheds light on family hurt and how to get to healing. Yeah, I honestly, I mean, it was something that happened yesterday. I was talking to somebody, and it's the whole thing with therapy. It's so taboo that it's just the whole stigma centered around the whole thing that you just think you shouldn't go get no help for certain things, and it's crazy. Well, so that's what that is in a nutshell. That them folks don't went on with life and ain't got no help.
Yeah. And if you think about Glorilla's sister,
Mm-hmm.
supposedly she was in a institution, a mental institution for a minute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's had issues that now this is where I probably maybe do blame the mom and daddy. If you see that this child has issues, why didn't you try to get her in some type of therapy or get her some type of help? Because
Yeah.
we got this thing, we got this like you just said, this stigma around uh folk being in our business and ain't nothing wrong with her. She didn't need to go sit her tail down. No, she has some issues.
Mm-hmm.
She has some mental issues. So there is some childhood trauma, something that has happened because even the mama said on the call that she called DHS on her over 5 times,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and she was the only child doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so she was the only child acting. Well, I ain't gonna say acting out because Glorilla said we all was doing stuff that was bad and we got whooping.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got punished and got our whoopings for being bad because we was all bad. It was 10 of us. You know, we did our little share of being bad and we got whoopings for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but there was something else that has happened that has not been identified yet that girl should have got some help for, whatever that
Yeah.
was.
Well, the young lady kept saying something that's key to me. Even though, in her sporadic, kind of off-center ways, she kept saying that the mama and dad never should have got together anyway because it was something wrong with them. Now, whether that's true or not, based upon the offsprings,
Yeah.
she could be very well. She may very well have a point because to have that many children and just keep on going and not identifying certain issues in your family, there was something wrong.
And well, that's why I said. Now that's why I blame the mom and daddy because you know, just like Charles and White said, these children that actually come here, these children are here as a direct result of your consequences, stuff you did, something you did for them to be here.
Absolutely,
Right?
that's it.
So
That's it. So
if
yeah,
if they're here, then we have to look after them. We have to look after their best interests, and if that means of getting them some help when we see, well, we may have seen that our relationship, because their relationship may have been really toxic,
Mm.
and she was the one that toxic relationship affected the way it did. The other one
Mhm.
may have just looked over it and may have felt like, well, this is all black families do this, and they
Right,
accepted it as that. But that
right.
girl was like, no, this ain't normal. This ain't what it's supposed to be. And maybe she felt different. That's why I
Mhm.
said you can't tell people how to feel.
That's right. That's right. Craig said,
You know.
"There's little dialogue nowadays. That's why there's little to no room for transparency." You're absolutely right, bro. Ms.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn said, "Conflict resolution and communication skills have no age limits." Yeah. Also, we expect adults to be effective in both, right? We often
Right.
take for
Right.
granted they were learned in childhood, but often that's not true. So many times. So many times, pride and embarrassment. That's good. Supersedes meeting the needs in their family. Keeping family secrets were mandatory, especially in our culture. Man, you hit the
Yeah.
nail on the head with that one right there. That's it right there. Most definitely that. Yep. So crazy. Miss Gwen, she actually came up with this topic. It's crazy how I kind of like go right in what we was already talking about. So where we leave off at? Let's see. Good morning, Phyllis. I guess we'll go ahead and read that comment. Say good morning. Her behavior shows that she is definitely coming from a place of hurt, and the acting out for attention tells me it's a problem somewhere. Oh yeah, ain't no doubt about it. Absolutely correct. But again, we don't want to go get no help. And I really think it's gonna come back to hunt her. Uh, you know, uh, getting all that money and stuff like that. And she talking about she got 3 managers and I think the people that's hanging around her, she don't really reveal who they are. I don't think they're good for her. I think they just as toxic as she is, and it's gonna come back and bite in her butt. It's gonna be ugly. And I ain't wishing nothing on a young lady, but it's just the way the patterns are. I just believe that they got a hidden agenda and a motive as well, and it ain't gonna play out right. That's just what
I
I
had
see.
I blinked out for a minute.
Hmm. You say sometimes?
Yeah, I blinked out. I couldn't hear you for a minute.
Oh, okay. But I think we left off on what are expectations. It says assumptions are shaped by past experience. I think Tony did say that, and it said often expressed as disappointments instead of clarity. We don't get no clarity. I think it's what we left off at right there. So yeah. So what is the perspective? Say that the lens shaped by life experiences. The lens shaped by life experiences. That's pretty much saying the same thing as the previous statement. Um, Now check this one out, Tony. Culture, trauma, upbringing, and success. If that ain't what we dealing with, hey Miss Shorter, good morning. Culture, trauma, upbringing, and success. Wow. Perspective is interpretation, not absolute truth. Yeah. How you perceive the thing. Also, the scripture says in Proverbs 4, it said, in all thy getting, make sure you get understanding. Majority of the time, which is what we do, we just don't get no understanding. We all been guilty of it. I don't care who you are. Understanding something is everything, which again goes back to communication. So that's how that works. Ms. Gwen said assumptions comes with hurt. When we assume others will and should react the way we do. If we stop expecting to see ourselves in others' reactions, it will alleviate uh, some of our disappointments. I agree. Miss Phyllis says she sounds like she's really and truly need her parents. Uh, I didn't care how the daddy responded. He didn't make the situation any better. Uh, I don't know. Again, I just want to bring this out, and it's some truth in all of what we're dealing with because just like the young lady said, she said it's something wrong with the parents, and if you listen to him, he don't sound like he got it all together. No way. So it's kind of what just
Who
because
that?
he's a
You talking about
father.
Glorilla Daddy?
Yeah, just because he's a father, and I think we overly expecting out of him because he's the daddy to be this profound individual because he's the father, so to speak. But he don't sound like he
Well,
wrapped up. Don't sound like he got it all wrapped up together.
well, you got to understand. You know, when you look at that situation, what I said earlier,
Hmm.
the mama and daddy may have been in a very toxic relationship, and when you bring not two, not one, 10 children
Hmm.
into a toxic situation, because I think even you alluded to, or you stated yesterday or the day before that they separated or they split up or got divorced or something later
Yeah,
on.
right.
So they knew they wasn't good for each other anyway when they was having them babies,
Right.
and they should have recognized. So that's what I said. That's what I fought the parents at for not being present in them children's life and recognizing the hurt, the trauma that they were causing them. You
Hmm.
know, and uh, and so I think everybody has to take accountability
Yeah,
in this.
that's the
Like
key.
it ain't no. I don't think it's just no one person at fault. I think everybody, because the sister has to take accountability for her actions and what she's doing and and at some point, you ain't a child no more. You're a grown person.
That's it.
And as a grown person, you recognize that, hey, my mom and daddy caused some trauma in my life. Let me go get some help for this trauma. You see what I'm saying? So we all they all have to take their part, their accountability in their part.
Yeah. And the other thing is not she in just a little brief moment this has been occurring, she kind of feeling the pressure, so to speak. She's like, man, this stuff got my head hurt. I don't know how you stars and all this stuff do this stuff. I don't even know what to do. I don't like this stuff. I don't want to be famous. I can't tell.
Well, because sometimes you can bite off more than you chew.
That's it.
you know how sometimes you bite into a cheeseburger, you be like, you see them because the bite too big. Yeah, you about to choke over there. You got too much in your mouth, and then you trying to talk and trying to get it out. You trying to sip something to get it down. Well, that's an example of biting off more than you can chew. And in that situation, it's a lot come with it. And that's why I tell people you have to be careful when you say, I want to be a famous person. It's a lot of people that's famous. They're saying, man, I wish I could have made the money in this state. And then that's why you got so many famous people have real private lives outside. When they on the stage, they on the stage. When they ain't, they are recluse. They somewhere in a hole locked up because they don't want to be around people, because they can't go out. The paparazzi snapping pictures of them. They can't go out and have an intimate moment with their family. The woman want to put on a sexy bathing suit, bikini bathing suit, and go to the beach and just hang out. And then that a paparazzi taking pictures, talking about, oh, look at her body. She or the man, he done developed the dad bod. Just all this foolishness. And so you have to be careful about what you ask for. And it ain't for everybody. It ain't for the weak or the faint at heart. And so for her saying, hey, I want my little 2 minutes of fame. I'm finna go out here and expose the family secrets and and now she's sitting there saying, man, this ain't really what I signed up for. I didn't really want it that way.
Yeah, she said she didn't even get no sleep at night. That's what you wanted though.
Yeah, it's hard to sleep, man, when you around trying to tear up folk lives and tear up what folk doing. And it's hard to navigate through that, bro.
Yeah. Mel said she's getting t-shirts. Hold on, I gotta go back up. It jumped up again. I'm sorry. Good morning, Mel. If we didn't say good morning, she's getting t-shirts made, shouting out fast food trucks. She's out on major platforms. It said the mom had to resign from work, I guess you're saying, because Victoria shared personal job info and hours, and now she's no longer with FedEx.
But she was, from what I gathered from FedEx, she was only working part-time anyway. And she was only doing that because she wanted to. It wasn't like she was forced to do that.
Right. Monica said, good morning, Monica. When you are wrong or doing wrong, everybody should have at least want somebody to guide them the right way. We just said that earlier. Say something. No, sugar, you wrong. But I guess the flip side, if you don't know better, I guess you can't do better. What you said.
Yeah.
Ms. Gwen said, mostly I see a hurt inner child stuck in an adult body. Come on now. It has reached the explosion stage in order to cope with her traumas. It's not just happening. It's just a reach to the masses. Truthfully, that dynamic of abuse, neglect, abandonment, family struggles is in many families behind closed doors. You sure know what to say.
Yep. All of that.
Exactly. Get out the house. It helps you stay young. Yeah. It's crazy.
Where is the conflict going? My expectations collide with your perspective. I have some expectations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lavelle has a perspective, and my expectations don't line up with what Lavelle's perspective is. So now we have conflict.
Mm-hmm.
My intent does not always equal impact.
Right.
The intent that I have doesn't always equal impact.
Well, that's why I love that thing I learned from my manager at Walmart, and I will always give him credit for it because I didn't understand it until I worked with him. And if we take that thing called conflict and turn it into opportunity, and majority of the time that's what we didn't want to do. So we'll say, when this collides with opportunity, in other words, we have an opportunity here to make the best out of this. We either can make it a mess or make it the best. Which one we gonna do?
Right.
And sometimes depending on who the individual you're dealing with, they just live in trauma. They just live in they love that extra whatever the hell that is. They always
That
want to
toxicity. They're toxic people that love toxicity and they thrive off toxicity. And when you have a person that thrives off toxicity, bro, man, like the stuff that's good, they don't want that, bro. They want the negative stuff because the negative stuff is what feeds them, bro. Is what keeps them going. I don't want to be part of what's the good stuff going on over. I want to be a part of all the negative stuff because I feed off the negative stuff. And man, this is sad to say, but it's probably more people that feed off the negative than feed off the positive.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
we see it every day on social media. So
I just gonna say, all you gotta do is go to social media. I can post something good about something that happened to somebody that's really good, and that thing might get 2-3 shares, 100 likes. Man, I post some negative stuff, a fight or something. Man, it's gonna get shared 350,000 times. It's gonna get 1.2 million views. I'm telling you, bro, we love toxicity, bro. We love it.
Yeah.
We love that toxic behavior. And I don't care what you say, we're gonna promote toxicity over positive growth and positive things every time.
I agree.
Then another way conflict is born is through misalignment. When misalignment creates understanding. So, the things that I have that I've tried to align in my life, I've got them misaligned, or they're not aligned with some maybe some of your goals or perspectives or opportunities, and so now it's a problem. So and this is what happens in marriages a lot of times, right? Because you go into the marriage, y'all a young couple, you got your dreams, she got her dreams and goals, and you trying to do your stuff, and y'all hadn't communicated and talked about it, how you gonna reach these goals, but you just over here doing your own thing, she over here doing her own thing, and then he got goals and she ain't really supporting his goals and dreams because she trying to do her own stuff, and he taking money out the pot to do his dreams and goals, and he ain't communicating. She over taking stuff, and then they look at it in the financial ruins, and that, you see what I'm saying? Because our goals and our opportunities and stuff are just misaligned. We haven't talked about it. We haven't communicated about it. And so now that has created a big, huge conflict in our relationship. And it creates misunderstanding.
Yeah. Ms. Green said, Lavelle, worth repeating, correct me if I misquoted you. You said conflict collides with opportunity. We can make it a mess or make it turn into the best. Absolutely. So when he first started doing it used to piss me off because I really didn't understand it, because he'd be like, let's say for instance, an employee do something, and they'd be like, regardless of what it was, especially with something that was just way out key, and he'd be like, Lavelle, we got an opportunity in the office. I'd be like, what are you talking about? Dude done stole a whole thing of time. You talking about an opportunity? Now we need to fire dudes or whatever. But and so the thing about it was, he looked at the whole terminology was that we're gonna try to get the best out of whatever said situation,
whatever happened, right? Yeah. Right.
And it's almost like that analogy. You said, do you see the glass half full, or do you see the glass half empty?
Right.
It's all about perception and how you see a thing. And one of these guys I watch on YouTube a lot, he said, if you around people who see the glass half empty, you don't want to be around them. You want to see the folks who see the glass half full. So it's all about interpretation. Monica says, I was just about to say that some people love mess. You sure don't say. The sad part is that people will believe They lie before they believe the truth. Man, every day, all
Mm-hmm.
day.
Because the lie sounds better.
Mm-hmm.
The lie sounds so much better.
And it feels better. It's like you covering up.
Yeah. Because have you ever heard some people lie, bro? And how they
Mm-hmm.
fabricate a lie? You be like, it be sounding so convincing. But you know in your heart because you know the facts, you know they lying. But because of
Mm-hmm.
they, they so man artistic with it and it's so creative with it. You be like, man, these folks, I know they lying now. Now I'm almost about to believe.
Yeah, I had a real bad problem with doing that growing up. My dad, man, broke me from that. He's always just looking at me, man. Look, bro, you lying. He said, I can tell the way you try to put it together in your head. Man, come on, man, say that for your mama, dog. I can see you lying when you start talking.
But that Keelan boy, Keelan started out with he finna lie.
You already know what it is, bro.
There it is. He finna lie.
Yeah, man.
Um, then we got something called the silent assumption problem.
Uh-oh.
These are the unspoken expectations that create loud conflicts.
Mm. Wow. Mm-mm.
Unspoken expectations that create loud conflicts.
Yeah.
We don't so I've never shared what my expectations are. So that would be the same as me showing up um on a job. I got a
Mm-hmm.
new job as a manager, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got all of these expectations on how I want my employees to act. But I never met with any of the employees. Now I'm a new manager. I come in, I get my office set up. But I never met with any one of those employees to talk to them, to share what my expectations is, to talk to them about what their goals are. And then I automatically assume they're supposed to know what my expectations are. And then when they don't, I blow up about it.
Right. Yeah. And then when they fall, you just didn't get the expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Clarity cannot be assumed. You got to
Very
ask for
true.
some clarity. You can't look. Don't assume that I just totally know what you mean,
Mm-hmm.
or you know what I mean.
Right.
If you don't know, ask for some clarity. Say, hey, Tony, you said so and so. I'm just trying to understand what you're saying. Okay,
Right.
now you're asking for some clarity around what I'm saying, and then I may
Mm-hmm.
say, well, what part is it that I need? And you might say all of it. Okay, well
Mm-hmm.
let me start all over and break it all down, or oh, the part that you said about this, I'm really not okay. Well, let me get to that part and let's talk about that part.
Right.
But if you sit there and act like you understand and you clear on everything, then you go out there and do the opposite. Now we got a problem.
Mm-hmm. It's
Um,
almost kind of like just like on social media, folks will make posts like little subliminal stuff. And it used to
right.
happen to me. And I used to do it. I used to actually do it purposely. A lot of folks just didn't know that. But you'll post stuff and folks were like, man, what you doing? What you talking about? What you got going on? And you know what I'm saying? So they're just going off the post. And I didn't give no type of, like you say, interpretation or
Mhm.
understanding to what I was saying. So it left room for opportunity. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Yeah.
Ms. Gwen said drama and conflict sells. Also, when hurt people bleed on other people, conflict continues to grow. The struggle is relinquishing offense and becoming selfless to resolve a situation. Yep. She told you don't do
Mm.
too much to her boy neither. Ms.
Hey,
Gwen
hey.
said, Tony again assuming others will say and do things the way I would do it without clarifying my expectations. Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And then you got when agreement. If you're gonna agree to something, man, it requires some type of conversation, right? You gotta have, I mean, so we can't have an unspoken agreement because we ain't talked about what the terms of the agreement are, what the agreement is. We ain't talked about nothing. How long the agreement is for, how long will it last? So we just automatically, I got this thing, and we just don't agree. We just agreeing on it, and we ain't talked about. No, you can't have an agreement without a conversation.
I think too, man. Just life in general, as life has progressed, I think a lot of times because stuff has become so impersonal, and you doing emails and texts and on social media, the texture of communication has been taken away. You know what I'm saying? You used to have to try to, you only had a landline phone, and if that didn't work, then y'all had to get with each other. Like now, I can skate around stuff, I can text, I can send an email, and just try to disregard what happened, and that ain't healthy. You know what I'm saying? Because
but this is the thing, Lavelle. You just named at least 3 or 4 ways of communicating that we don't even in that communication, we're still not communicating.
Right.
Because communication requires a dialogue. That means a back and forth conversation.
Correct.
If I just say something and I walk away and I don't respond, that's not a dialogue. That's not a conversation. That's a one party call, a one way call.
Right. Yep.
That's like me always talking to God, and God never speak back to me.
Right.
He never tell me, Tony, you wrong. Or Tony, I want you to go this way. I want you to do this.
Yeah.
That's a one-way conversation.
That's why a lot of times, if unless you just can't talk and I just can't talk, but if we texting more than 10 times, hey bro, come on, man. Can we get on the phone? Is the conversation going any further? Text used to be about on my way. Are you there yet? You know what I'm saying? It's giving you direction.
Yeah, but I think what happened is, so we have gotten ultra busy with our lives. We're busy. We're busy doing a lot of stuff. And I think this is a way for us to communicate in between these things that we're doing. But again, communication only works if both people are talking back to each other. So if I send you a shout and say, hey, I'm out here working in the garage doing so and so. Then I set the phone down, and then I go and do something. I come back, and you still ain't saying nothing. And I was like, well, yeah, so and so. And then I set the phone, then I walk over there, do something else, and come back, and and then I come back, you still ain't saying nothing. You having a one-way conversation. You ain't communicating with nobody.
Yep.
But if the person pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm gonna have to hit you back later, I'm busy doing something and I can't keep chatting going back. Now I'm saying, okay.
Yeah. Ms. Gwen says a lot has become lost in translation. Communication as technology has advanced and humans drift away from human connection. That's what I was saying. Yep.
Real life scenarios, relationships. You should have known. That when they tell you, well, you should have known. You should have known that. You should have knew that. What? You should have known.
That's why we're in the place we're in now.
Friendships. I thought we were closer than that. I remember that. I remember somebody saying that. Oh, man, I thought we were straight, man. We're cool. Yeah, we are. That's what I want your hands on.
Yeah.
Business. That's not what I expected. Well, what did you expect? Because you didn't set your expectations out. You didn't give me your expectations.
The other thing I learned was, though, but you got to inspect what you expect.
Hello? Hello?
In other words, we got to have a conversation if I want my expectations to come out a certain way.
And we don't have no type of follow through. Like we set the tone for the expectation. We talk about the expectation, but we never follow through to make sure that people are really understand. I like to check in with people periodically just to see, make sure everything good. Okay, you need anything from me, but
Mhm.
because that opens the room for more conversation. Well, now everything ain't good. Oh, okay, well let's talk about it. What's
Yeah, but
going on?
most people ain't gonna be honest with them when they in most cases, not in all, but in most cases, if
I,
something really going on with their person, they're gonna be like, everything okay?
I
That's
had a
sometimes not.
situation. I had a situation where a young lady that works for me, um, I had shared an email with her and another young lady about a program, and I
Mhm.
was saying, hey, I want for you guys to be our champion doing this program.
Mhm.
The thing that I didn't know was because she had never shared with me, she had been going to these meetings around this particular program. She had been going to the meetings and hadn't told me nothing. And the person that was over the meetings never said, "Hey, I got this person going to these meetings as part of this program that we working on. We trying to get." So
Mhm.
I never knew. So when I sent it out to her and the other girl today is gonna be champion, she felt a little slighted because she said, "I've been working on this program, but I didn't know that." So she
Mhm.
came in and she was like, her whole demeanor was, you could tell she was visibly upset. And I was like, and she was like, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. I've been working on this program. I said, well, nobody ever told me. I said, you never told me you've been working on this program. The person that's over the program ain't never told me this program. I said, that's communication. Somebody should have communicated with me to let me know. I said, all I was doing is trying to make sure that we had some champions in the office for this particular program, right?
Mhm.
And I said, and I didn't know that. And so she was like this huffed and she just, like I said, visibly upset. And she walked and I said, hey, wait a minute, come on back. Come on back. We're not gonna leave like that, man. Come on
Right.
back. I said, sit down. I said, I can tell that you're visibly upset about this.
Mhm.
And I said, let's talk about why you're really, really, really upset about this. And so the bottom line was she thought it was a big slight that maybe she wasn't doing what she was supposed to do. And I had to reiterate to her, I never knew that you were doing that.
Right.
I never knew. You never communicated that to me, honey. You never communicate that you were doing this. The person that's over the program never communicated, hey, I got her. She's working on this program with me. And that's the first thing you do if you're going to have somebody from another area working on a program with you. You reach out to the supervisor or the manager and say, hey, is it okay if such and such work on this program? We're trying to get together. Something we got to get together, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And so I didn't let her leave out of that office until she got herself together. We was good, and she walked out of that office.
Yeah. But you
But
put effort into it because you saw a situation and you didn't let it linger. I think a lot of times
yeah,
that's the other problem. And to go back to that thing we talked about, some months ago, talking about that gap. The longer you let it linger, the worse it's
mhm.
gonna be. So
and I had to apologize for making her feel however she was feeling. I said, let me apologize. Because that's not my intentions to make you feel to have you upset or anything. I want you. So even though I took accountability for something that I didn't even know of, but sometimes you have to do that. You know.
yeah, you can take the low road. Yeah.
Or the high
My
road. Have you looked
yeah,
at
the high
it?
road when you think about most definitely.
Yeah.
Mother said,
So
I'm okay. Do something stupid. Ms. Gwen said we this gonna be a part two because we got the most lives. So we don't I don't even think we're gonna make it to no tea because you already at work too. So uh Ms. Gwen said we should be intentional about communicating with others. My daughter and I intentionally talk at least twice a day, usually for at least an hour or two even. Though we are multitasking, we while talking, it's not always deep conversation, but their connection is always important to us. Do any of you
hmm
have anyone you intentionally communicate with every day? Oh yeah, all the time.
hmm
I'm gonna give y'all a key indicator of the people that play a key part of your lifestyle. 9 times out of 10, you can look in your call log and you know who the people you connected with.
hmm
Just look at your call log If y'all got some kind of text or email going on throughout the week, throughout the month, 9 times out of 10, and this your circle, that's your people.
Mine is email, messenger, and text. Because I'm not a big I need to sit on the phone and talk person. I'm not that person.
I've been knowing this since I know you.
Yeah, I'm not that person. But if you in my messages, my messenger, or in my email, I talk to you pretty regularly, and I got several of group messages in my messaging, and in my phone that I talk to. You know, we talk to our kids all the time through group messages, you know, stuff like that. That's how we share pictures, or you know, something with little Tony Baby, or Keewan sharing something with Legacy. You know, they share it through the group, and you know, stuff like that. So it's you know, those are the people that you communicate that you communicate all the time to, and that's probably part of your inner circle. You know,
right. Ms. Gwen said, I didn't mean communicate because of proximity, but you genuinely want to converse with that person daily, professional. Oh yeah, I knew what you meant.
Yeah, because you do it with purpose and intent.
Right. Monica said, I communicate with Tasia every day. She is a true loner, and it's important to know she's good. Also, my brother and I FaceTime every day. That's how we stay connected. Absolutely.
Every day. They call it every day around the same time.
Right.
Hey, what y'all doing?
Yeah. Monica said, I saw a post that said, if you go missing in action for a week, who would check on you? Yeah, I saw
we put that out there. We put that out there one time.
Yeah. We did a podcast on that. Sure did.
Yeah. If you put your phone down, didn't call nobody, didn't text nobody, didn't get on social media for a week, who would contact you to check on you? Man, I ain't seen, we heard from you. Because we do it all the time. We be like, hey, I ain't heard for so. You heard for so-and-so? Man, let's call them.
Like Rodney and Mel, and we heard.
What I asked you? I said, you heard from Rodney and Mel? Yeah. I hit them both of them up through message. Hey man, we missing y'all. What's up?
Yeah. Ms. Gwen said, I know I have warned both of you out with sending things through Messenger. No, you didn't. Just
I be reading it. I be reading, looking at the videos, and sometimes we get content. Like I said, I like when y'all send me stuff like that because we get content from that stuff sometimes.
Yep. So.
Yep.
Most definitely.
All right. I guess we'll stop right here with the real life scenarios where we just talked about the relationships. You should have known. Friendships, I thought we were closer. In business, that's not what I expected.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, them group chats be fast. Cause some of them be funny as heck. Especially when y'all trying to. I know my niece and nephew, they got a cousin chat. And then we got like a family group, and they'll post anytime they see some they think a funny pic or somebody look like somebody, they'll post it in the group. And the
only thing I don't like about the group chats is that if you start a conversation with one individual, don't keep it's no longer a group chat. Y'all talking to each other. Y'all got each other's numbers, so y'all need to take that conversation and go on your own.
I definitely agree with that. So if it's just you and one person going back and forth, y'all need to roll y'all stuff because the group ain't even chatting about it. It's just y'all.
Yeah. Group chat is talking to the group.
y'all need to take y'all chat and take it on over to y'all own text message or something.
You've been a little bit too chatty right now, buddy.
It's just like the messenger when we have the group calls, the group video chat. If I'm not at home, Monica pick up. Sometimes I might not pick up that chat. I'm not in I know they chat because I can see it telling me to join the chat. I can see they still on there. But if I'm busy doing something or driving or whatever, then I don't hop on there.
Right.
And sometimes me and Monkey be laying right next to each other. I'm like, I'm not gonna click on it and she right here next to me. All they'll do is get feedback. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. This was good, man. Thank you again, Miss Gwen, for this opportunity on yesterday. I jumped right on as soon as I got off the phone. So off the call. So I was like, yeah, this gonna be good.
Yeah. Thank y'all so much for joining in on the conversation. I guess we looking at part 2 tomorrow because I don't even know if we got halfway through the slides or not.
No, we got about another 7 slides, I think.
Yeah, so we'll jump back in on it tomorrow, man, and finish it out. And then I wanna give this shout out real quick, man, or really just more of an announcement, man. I'm excited for my wife's podcast that's going to be coming real soon. I'm thinking she's targeting the first, I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking she's targeting the first Thursday in March. But she's getting geared up, excited. She's created her bio for her podcast on what the podcast is about. If you haven't seen it, she has theme music. If y'all hadn't heard her theme music, go to make sure y'all subscribe to her YouTube channel. Make sure you follow her on Facebook on her Facebook page. Don't Do Too Much podcast Facebook page and her YouTube channel. Don't Do Too Much podcast YouTube channel. So make sure y'all follow her on both of those and subscribe to her YouTube channel because what we trying to do is make I'm trying to give her a step up on us because me and Vel had to figure out some stuff along the way. And with hers, we're trying to start it off the right way and not have to figure out what we're gonna do. So and that's why she's being real methodical. It's not that she thinks she out it now. She's just being real methodical about how she approaches it and how she wants to do it. And I've been trying to just give her a little guidance and trying to help her navigate through it. Not trying to take over it or nothing like that, but just trying to help her navigate through it and make sure, showing her some tools that she can use, like the Chat GPT, to help create some things. And also, I want to shout out. So that's Mike. Also, I want to shout out. I want to shout out my son, man, who is getting ready to do. If you guys know of anybody, any young person or older person that may looking to do this, he is doing a free master class on the February the 22nd, I believe. I think it's February 22nd. That's a Sunday. He's doing a free master class on how to begin if you want to become a tattoo artist. So he's going to do a free master class on that. He's doing it live in person at his shop on the 22nd. And he has a ebook already done that takes you through the whole step of becoming a tattoo artist, what you need to do, the Tennessee laws behind it. Man, he got it already, man, down packed. So if you guys know somebody that may be interested in that, he's having a free class on, I think it's February the 22nd at fourth Sunday. I think that's what it is.
Okay. We make sure we get the flyer and stuff so we can share it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I ain't think about that. He does have a flyer out there. Yeah.
Cool beans, man. Mom said she woke up to 52 followers. I'm super excited. Yeah, we're gonna get him up some more from there though. Miss Gwen said a true village helps others navigate life. What you talking about, Mel? My family, their punch clocks have a little more time in their hands. Okay. I got you. Cool. That's all you got, Tom?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good? All right, man. Cool beans. All right, man. Good conversation today. Thank you all for tuning in. Look forward to part 2 on tomorrow. If y'all got any Black History stuff that y'all want to share with us too, we're still in Black History Month. Anything, we always say we want to share anybody's accomplishments, but it being that it is Black History Month, you got some things that you want to share, some history in your family, something like that. Make sure y'all let us know what you got going on with that. So All right, we're going to pray and get on out of here. Let us pray. Most gracious, eternal God, our Father, Lord God, we thank you for this day. Thank you for this time. Thank you for this opportunity. Lord God, we ask you to give more clarity. Ask us to teach us about having more clarity on relationships and how to resolve conflict and have better relationships and be true and honest with each other. We ask you to continue to touch all of our opportunities. We ask you to touch Tony family, my family, Queen family, everybody that's associated with us. And we ask you to do all these things in your son Jesus' name. And we said amen.
Amen, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same bad time.
Same bad place.
2 Men in Hats.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
It's the 2 Minute Hats podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle, every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock Dead P. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. 2 Minute Hats podcast.